I'm Amanda Orlando, the blogger behind Everyday Allergen Free and the author of the cookbook Everyone's Welcome, The Art of Living with Food Allergies. And I am coming to you in collaboration with Food Allergy Canada for another video to talk about reducing the risk of cross-contact with your allergens in your home during social isolation during the pandemic. And this is obviously new for all of us. I think, we've been doing this for 6 weeks now, and there have been some great learnings from this experience. For many people, being in social isolation might mean that you're spending a lot more time at home during the day with people who might otherwise usually be at their office or at school. It means that there's a lot more overlap in the kitchen. It's a change in our eating patterns and habits and the foods that we're eating. And there can be some added risks compared to how you're normally living, compared to your usual routine, because this is not routine. So we're kind of all just learning as we go. You might also be facing some challenges with the grocery stores. So in my experience, the grocery stores are out of many of the things that I typically buy that I know are safe for me, that are my trusted brands. And so the stock that we do have in our home of the things that are safe for me is kind of reserved for me because we know that it's there and it's something that I can have. In this social isolation situation, you might also have other people living in your home who typically aren't there, grandparents, cousins, relatives, people who need somewhere to stay for the long run. And that can also present challenges because perhaps you're not used to managing your allergies on a daily basis. So in this video, we're gonna look at some of the ways that we can reduce cross-contact, really simple ways in our home during social isolation. Growing up in my home, we did have my allergens present, and my brother and I actually have different food allergies, so we had both of our allergens present, and we just found a way to work around it. And the key to that was really cleanliness and consideration. And so being mindful of the fact that if you use a spoon to stir something, you're not just putting it on the counter and leaving it there, and the other person might go and interact with it or not realize that there's an allergen on the counter. It's really, really little things like that, but it's a whole mindset that contributes to reducing cross-contact. So the number one thing I always do is emptying the dishwasher as soon as it's done. Now, this might seem like obvious cleanliness, or it might seem like a total pain, but it really makes a difference, because when you leave the dishwasher not emptied, then people don't know whether it's clean or not, and then you end up with dirty dishes in your clean dishwasher. So one of the number one things for me is, as soon as I hear the dishwasher is done, I have to go over and empty it, and that way it's like clean slate. And I also like to do it myself if I'm around people who are not used to managing my allergies, because then I know that my hands are clean and there are no weird lotions, no one's eating while they're emptying the dishwasher. So that's the number one thing. And by the way, I'm hunched over right now because the dishwasher is right below me, and I realize that you can't see it in this shot. And on that note, another thing is avoid washing your dishes in a big tub of water or using the same sponge for everything, even if it has allergens or no allergens, because when you're doing that, you're just rubbing allergens all over everything. So one big tub of soapy water, if you have a dairy allergy and something with cheese goes in there, there's pretty much cheese on everything now. And same goes for the sponge. So replace your sponge often and rinse in a clean sink. No communal tubs of water. Now, hand washing, obviously very important during a pandemic, but also very important for reducing cross-contact with common allergens. So what I suggest is, before you touch anything in a kitchen, wash your hands if you are the person who is touching allergens, because you might not remember that you picked up a bagel that had butter on it earlier that morning and then went on your laptop and did your work, and then 3 hours later you're going to do something in the kitchen, but you could still have that residue on your hands. So just wash them anytime you're entering a communal zone, especially where food is present. Right now, hand sanitizer is a very hot product. However, sanitizing your hands, if they have allergens on them, is not going to remove the allergen. For example, imagine you had peanut butter on your hands. If you just rubbed hand sanitizer on them, you would still have peanut butter on your hands. So soap and water, always preferable. Wash well, wash often. Cutting boards. Cutting boards might look innocent enough, however, over the years and much use, they can develop slices, gashes, scrapes, all things that can house allergenic particles or whatever is an allergen in your home. Of course, it is different for everyone. So I recommend, if you are going to be having allergens in your kitchen, that you have glass cutting boards or something that is not porous, that can be really easily cleaned, that can be thrown in the dishwasher, and where you can rinse it off without the knife actually scratching the material. General surfaces. Some things that are really common in an office, for example, having a spoon in the kitchen that is used to stir coffee. Not my personal cup of tea, but I worked in offices for many years and I know that that's actually pretty common. However, not something that you should be in the habit of doing at home if you have allergies in your house and perhaps that coffee might contain almond milk or coconut milk or dairy milk or soy milk or something that someone in your home is allergic to. So always, like I said, rinse, dishwasher, done. Don't leave anything out on the counter for people to have to guess about. Now let's look at the stove, or rather, what usually sits next to the stove, and that is a spoon rest. I am always wary of people's spoon rests in other people's homes because I don't know how often they have been washed, and I think people have a tendency to just wipe them off and reuse them because it's not really a tool that you're using when cooking. It kind of gets forgotten about. What I like to do when I'm sharing a space with other people is to just use a small plate instead of a spoon rest. Throw it in the dishwasher when you are finished using it. It's as easy as that. Finally, wearing gloves does not mean that you are invincible. That is exactly how it was explained to me when I went for my food handler certification, and it's a great way to phrase it because a lot of people think that you put on a glove and then suddenly everything is sanitary, and it's really not the case. If you're wearing gloves, it just means that your hands aren't getting dirty, but it doesn't mean that you are stopping the spread of allergens or bacteria or other harmful things. So if someone in your home is being really proactive and saying, hey, I'm gonna wear gloves when I eat this allergen, the gloves have to then come off right away when they're finished eating that allergen, because if they're then wearing the gloves when touching handles and surfaces, then they're just transmitting it everywhere. Gloves do not make you invincible. Thank you so much for watching my video in collaboration with Food Allergy Canada. We are bringing you new videos all the time during social isolation, and it has been a pleasure to talk with you again. Bye!